Hello gang, today we're going to work on some blues chords. I'm going to give you 10 essential blues chords and we're going to jump right into it, starting with taking our old common C chord and we're going to turn it into a C7. So we're going to take our pinky and go up 1, 2, 3 strings to a B flat note, and we here have now a C7 chord. And how we'll use this in a blues, let's say we're in the key of C. Play that one chord C. Then we'll go up to that 4 chord at the 8th fret for the F7. Now the cool thing about this chord, it's a closed chord. We have the 4 middle strings closed, so we can just mute the low and high E strings and move this chord anywhere and use it in any key we want rather easily. So we have our 1 chord C and then our 4 chord F. Back to our 1 chord, and our 5 chord G at the 10th fret. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my ring finger here, and it's on a G note, so I'm playing a G7. 4 middle strings, then the F at the 8th fret. So 10th fret for the G, 8th fret for the F, the 4 chord, and the 1 chord, the C. And that's our first 7th chord, or blues chord. And now let's get on to another one. We're going to take our old common A chord here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 middle fingers and we're going to go on the outside notes of the A and leave the G string open, which is our 7th note, and we have a 5-string chord here, and this is the A7. Now we can move this up the neck as well when we turn it into a bar. So here's our A7, 5-string chord. I'm going to go to the 4 chord, which is the D, A, B, C, D, and play that same 7th shape up here. And back to the A7. Now the E7, I'm going to play with that same A7 shape up here at the 7th fret root. So I'm using the E note here at the 7th fret on the 2nd string to name this, and then go down a whole step to the D, play D7, and then come back down. So I'm playing the bar chord, 5-string bar. I'm touching the low E strings so it doesn't play, and I'm using my ring finger on the D string, and my pinky is going to be on the B string underneath there. So there's the D7, E7, and then A7. Kind of changing my grab. I'm just using my middle finger and my ring finger for that. And so there's the A shape turned into a 7th. Now we're going to take that same C shape and turn it into a 9th chord. Now this C shape we're going to play a little bit differently. We're going to use our middle finger on the C note, and then our index finger will be on the major 3rd, which is the E note, C, D, E, and then we're going to take our ring finger. And over all the years of teaching, people have a difficult time to get this the first time, so be patient with yourself. I'm covering 3 strings with the ring finger. My middle finger's on the root, C, and now we have 5 strings closed, and we have a 9th chord. C 9th, it's a very pretty chord. And so I'm going to do the same thing. Play that C and then go to the 4 chord, which is the F, up at the 8th fret, and then go back to the 3rd fret, and then go to the 10th fret for that G5 chord, back to the 1 chord, C9. So now we have another chord. This is a chord that I picked up from Buddy Guy years ago. It's kind of a cool chord. We're just going to call it the Buddy Guy chord for now. But what it is a chord that doesn't play the root. We are playing a form of an A. We have a major 3rd, a 7, and we got a 5, and then we have a 9. So it's a 9th chord, and we're going to take this peace sign, go on the A string at the 4th fret, and then on the G string at the 4th fret, and then fill in the gaps on the D string at the 5th fret, and then the pinky is going to be underneath there at the 5th fret on the E note. So again, the 4 middle strings, we have an A9 here, and we have no low root. We're not playing that A root, we're just playing this. We're just sticking with these 4 middle strings. So when I go to play this in a progression, I have the A9, and I'll go to the D9, I'm at the 10th fret with the pinky in the ring, and the 9th fret with the index in the middle. And the 4th and 5th fret for the A. Now the E. And that's our 4th shape. So we have another chord here, and it is the 7th shape made out of the E chord. And so to make a 7th out of an E chord, it's a D note. So what we do is we pick up our ring finger and we've opened up the D string, and we have an E7. Now to play this up the neck, we'll play that E7. And now we can add another 7 with our pinky here on the D note on the B string at the 3rd fret. We have a higher 7th sound there. And now we'll go to the 4 chord in the key of E, which is A, and we'll play a bar, 6-string bar would be based on this, E or F shape, however you want to call it, but it's the E shape there. We're going to pick up the pinky, and then we have our A7, 6-string chord, and we can put our pinky here on the 7th, which is G for the A chord. And then go back to our E with the ring up, or the pinky down and the ring up. And I'll go to our 5 chord at the 7th fret, which is B. And I'll go to the A at 5. We're playing 7th chords here, and then the E7. Okay, so we've taken the E shape now, we've taken the A shape, the G shape, and we've turned those all into 7th chords. Now we're going to take the D shape. So there's our D. What I'm going to do is just create an upside down D, I like to call it. We're going to take our index finger, count up 2 strings on the C note, which is our 7th of this D, dominant 7th, not major 7th. Bluesy 7th. The pretty 7th sounds like this. And we're not using that in too many blues songs, we're using the dominant 7th. So what that means is we're not using the 7th from the scale of D, we're actually flattening it. So for all these chords, that's exactly what's happening. We're playing a flat 7th, or what's called a dominant 7th. So here we have this D7 shape. The note above it right here, D is naming this, in my mind, the way I look at it, and that's on the B string, there's a D note. And then if we want to go to the 4 chord, we're in the key of D, we're going to go to a G, so we're going to slide up to 6 and 7 to play the G7, and then the A7 will be up at 8 and 9. So that would be the 5 chord, 4 chord, and then the 1 chord. That would be A chord, A7, G7, and D7. And that's our D chord shape. And the way we turn it in from a regular D, make it upside down D, or D7. Now we're going to take and look at a couple other chords here. We're going to play a couple minor 7ths. So we're going to take the E chord and turn it into a minor chord by picking up our index finger. And then we're going to make it a minor 7th by picking up our ring finger. We're going to add that D note again, so now we have a E minor 7. For a darker blues, or a sadder blues, we have this minor 7. Now we're going to take that up, throw the bar across 5 for the 4 chord, and play the same thing. We'd have a normal E chord here, but we're going to get rid of the major 3rd, and we're going to get rid of the 8, or the octave. And now we have a very nice sounding A minor 7 with the E shape. We'll go back down here. You can also add that D up on top, and we'll do that here with the A7. And we're adding a G for the A. We'll go up a whole step. And we have a B minor 7, A minor 7, and then E minor 7. It's rather easy, it's just one finger, or we can add that other D up on top. Now we're going to do the same thing with A. We're going to start with an A chord, turn it into an A minor by flattening the 3rd, and now we have our index finger on the C note. We have a minor. Now to make that a 7th chord, we'll pick up our ring finger, and we have a really pretty minor chord, A minor 7th. And we can also add another G, which is the 7th, with our pinky up here on the high E string, the thin E string, and we're playing a 5-string string chord with A being the root. If we want to take this up the neck, we'll go to the 4th chord. And we have the D minor 7. We took the A minor bar, 5-string chord, picked up the pinky, and then we added another pinky if we want for that higher sound. And then the 5 chord, and the 4 chord, and then back to 1. A minor 7. That'll do it for chords today. Thank you for sticking around and checking it out. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed over the past 5 months that I've been hosting this channel. And I intend to keep going. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Once again, like and subscribe. See you next time. We'll do a little jam here.